Okay, so about 10 days ago, I did a video on how to take less sacks with an AP setup on the offensive line. However, I do think that the landscape has changed a little bit in the last week, so I want to double back and also dispel the notion that I'm simply telling you to get the best players in the game. So lock in, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and drop a like on this video. If this video gets 300 likes, I will drop a blitz because you guys are going to, quite frankly, need blitz pressure to get to the quarterback because we're going to shut down the pass rush. And we're going to talk about what abilities you should target at what spots on the field and what those abilities really do, because I think there's a lot of confusion about it. I've been talking a long time. Let's get into it. I want to start off at center because the center is the most important part of your offensive line. And the stack that I want on the center is going to be secure protector and post up. A lot of you guys obviously are running budget squad, so it's going to be a little bit tougher to target some of the best players in the game. But I'm telling you, this is the AP setup that you want because it's going to be the best way possible to basically neutralize interior players such as the Colossus on that Karlaftis, because Colossus is kind of a one-of-a-kind X factor that is designed to split double teams right away. So having a center that can get to that player is going to be really, really key. Post up is also very, very important on zone run schemes. So a lot of players don't know this. They think it's just no double team splits and pass protection, but it also is going to allow for you to, on those inside zone runs, shut down the inside stuff ability and also allow the offensive guard to peel off to that second level to take that gap shooting linebacker and prevent him from getting penetration into the backfield. So post up on the center is something I've been a huge fan of every single year for not only passing purposes, but also for running purposes. And of course, when your opponent rushes three, the center is going to be blocking a double team with a guard on a nose tackle. That post up comes in so clutch because it gives you a giant pocket to step up into. And then of course, like I said, the secure protector, that's going to help you in one-on-one scenarios. If your opponent is rushing 4 or maybe even 5, you're going to have 3 one-on-ones or 5 one-on-ones in those scenarios. So you want to make sure that you can secure those protections one-on-one. Now, I want to go over to the guard here. Now, I'm personally playing Jason Kelce's limited card out of position. Like I said, I do have a pretty good team. I understand that. It's not the intent to tell you to go out and buy the best players possible. I want to focus on the stack here. With Kelce, he gets secure protector. We just talked about that. One-on-one blocks, you're going to get those quick cancellations of the block shed moves. We're talking the interior threats. We're talking the edge threat type plays, the unstoppable forces up the middle. So this ability neutralizes those. But then we're going to talk about something completely different. This is the all day ability. The all day ability is something that so many players neglect. And I actually want to tell you exactly what this does because there's a lot of confusion around this and players think that it doesn't really do anything.
They are dead wrong.
So in a pass rushing engagement, you have that first animation, which is, the quick animation. We've already canceled that with a secure protector. What a lot of players get confused about, which leads to that narrative that all offensive linemen are the same, is actually due to what Madden calls the pocket degradation timer, the degrading of the pocket, which allows sheds to occur. This is what leads players to believe that their 99 pass blocker got shed by an 85 power move, when the truth is you've had the ball for 3 seconds and it's just at that point in time that the pocket degradation has occurred and that player is going to shed. The all day ability shuts off. I'm going to say this again. It shuts off the pocket degradation timer. It ignores the penalty, which means that if you've got one all day on your team and he's blocking and everyone else is blocking, the players that don't have all day, their pocket degradation timer, it's going to kick in. They're going to let those guys off blocks. The all day does not. So he has to be beaten based off of the ratings or the abilities. And like I said, we've already canceled the abilities, the unstoppable forces, with the secure protector. So now you've got to beat him with the abilities. And obviously, if you have a really good blocker with all day, he's going to prevent those sheds to occur. So I think it's really, really important that you guys have this on your guards. And this is really going to help with, giving you that pocket as well, one-on-one. So you're shutting down that 3 tech, that guy that gets the one-on-one rush with a guard, and then you're holding him there so he can't get penetration and push the pocket from the inside, flushing you further away from line of scrimmage. It's always important to be able to climb the pocket in this context. So again, all day, really, really, really important. And while I'm at it, I want to compare this to another ability that some players believe in. I personally am not a believer in this ability, and that is what we call protected. Protected is an ability that applies a bonus bonus to the pocket degradation timer, not a ignoring of the degradation timer, if that makes sense. So a player with all day is not affected by pocket degradation timer. They get beat based off of ratings. And then of course you have the protected ability, which says, okay, well, we have the pocket degradation timer. It's set at, let's just pick a number, 3 1/3 seconds. If you have protected, we'll extend that to 3.66 seconds. That is basically what protected does, is it just kind of moves that degradation timer, you know, a fraction of a second further down before it kicks in for the players that don't have all day. So I'm not saying that, you know, this is a bad ability to use, but it's not exactly better than all day, if that makes sense. Then of course I've got my secure protectors on my offensive tackles. You guys know this has not changed from my previous video, but one thing that I do have on one of my linemen is, and I would recommend that you guys use this as well, Linchpin. And Linchpin is an ability that is also a little bit confusing for a lot of players. It says stronger blocking from all offensive linemen, and this leads players to think that it's kind of like protected. And the truth is, it's not. If you were to get technical with what Linchpin actually is, it's protected on run plays. Basically, there's a shed timer on run plays as well. You can have a player that's a better run blocker than the block shed rating of the player he's blocking, but eventually that player is going to get off the block. Linchpin extends that timer. So if you're a player that likes to run the ball even a little bit, I would target this as something you guys can use for free. Pro tip, it's really good on RPOs. Now, I want to go very quickly to my other guard because in my offense, I, as an old head, am a big fan of a couple of abilities. Identifier is huge for me. I like to see the user because the majority of Madden players can't make their adjustments without clicking off of their user. This is great for being able to quick snap them when they're on a lineman or on a player they don't want to cover the field with. It's great for picking up tells if they click off of their linebacker to a slot corner. Are they blitzing him? Are they putting him in a zone? If they click onto the safety, are they changing him into something? You can pick up tells off of that. So I'm a big identifier guy. And then the other ability that's really good is threat detector. I mean, being able to see who's blitzing on 3rd and 4th down basically tells you what the coverage is going to be, because there's only so many possibilities. If a slot corner is blitzing, you're going to know either the safety's taking the flat and the outside corner's dropping deep, or the outside corner's taking the flat and the safety's dropping deep. This can help inform you better for the purpose of setting up your protections, or I actually use it for run calls. If I see somebody getting belligerent with a blitz setup and I know that there's a specific run play, whether it's an option pitch or maybe an RPO screen that I could actually throw on them on 3rd and 13 that can make it, you know, 4th and short, I'm going to do that. But this is actually something that is competitively banned, I believe, in Friday Night Football. They're not allowing threat detector, and I think that's an absolutely fine thing. So if you guys play in the comp circles that ban this, I would actually go ahead with this player and run another secure protector all day. As it pertains to what I do, I use Dexter Lawrence with just all day. So while he can get beat by glowing players, you have to remember that the way I run him is going to make it so Quentin Nelson, if I need to give Dexter Lawrence help against an unstoppable force, I can always slide my post up over to Dexter Lawrence and say, okay, Quentin Nelson's going to help you out. What we're going to do here is I'm going to focus on a unstoppable force B gap rusher, which is just going to be our left of screen player. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make him rush the A gap, because I think that that's going to be a little bit smarter for this double team. So keeping in mind here on this play, we've got a center with the post up ability. He also has secure protector in the event that he gets a one-on-one. And then to his left, we have a guard that has the secure protector ability in the event of a one-on-one, but an all-day ability to help fortify and secure and prevent any degradation shedding of that player. So basically Kelsey is going to be a menace with this stack, and he's the only player on my offensive line currently with this stack. Like I said, I would actually recommend securing all day on both guards, but I give up a little bit to gain the threat detector and the identifier. So what we're going to do here is we are going to run a double team right here. And what I want you to watch is basically how this occurs is the basically the secure protector is going to light up, and then the all day basically holds that second block. Now right there, we didn't actually get a animation where you saw Kelsey light up, but I want to go ahead and show this to you quite a few times, because you'll actually notice that it does end up lighting up a fair amount, where you'll see there's the secure protector, and then you see Kelsey basically preventing any shed with the all day ability. Now, again, it's kind of hit and miss. I've had this happen on stream quite a bit where, you know, I've seen the center light up, and then in game, the guard lights up after about 3 seconds. That's usually telling you that all day is working. Now, if I were to go ahead and shift my defensive line and crash it to the right, what this is actually going to do is this is going to give a crazy one-on-one blitz angle to Donald. In fact, pro tip, this is the best pass rush angle in the game, is a player basically slanting from a technique between the offensive tackle and the offensive guard towards the guard. You get some crazy spins and clubs and bull rush animations from this. But what you're going to see is the first light up for the secure, and then you're seeing the second light up for the all day. And you see how he's just holding that block, and that unstoppable force really had no chance to get to us right there. I mean, that was a dominant rep right there from our offensive line. Having a guard that can dominate his matchup, because those B gaps, basically those one-on-ones where the guard is isolated, are probably the biggest matchups in Madden, if you were to ask me, is so key. Because what we do right here is we neutralize a glowing one-on-one. This is a matchup that players expect to win when they have a glowing lineman. And we neutralize the instant win, and then the all day keeps him there. You see that Aaron Donald's just stuck in hand fighting. He's trying to club. He's getting absolutely shut down by the all day ability. And then you look at right behind him, you see that Quentin Nelson with that post up completely neutralizes the other player being double teamed. This is how you end up with a pocket to step up into. And this is going to allow you to attack downfield, scramble, keep the user honest in the middle of the field. Players on defense really struggle when their user has to stay pretty close to the line of scrimmage because they're not getting interior pressure. When you don't have interior pressure, it's hard to flush the quarterback deeper in the pocket to allow the edge rushers to work. And of course, we have secure protectors out there on the edge, so they can't shed as well. So this is a major deal as it pertains how this works. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, but when you have the ability to climb the pocket like this is going to allow you to throw throws that would normally get KO'd because you have a shorter wind-up animation. So the players that have the break on ball have, one, less time to break on the throw because your quarterback is not winding up, and two, your actual distance between your quarterback and the player you're throwing to is 5 to 10 yards shorter, so the ball actually gets there faster. And this is why you see KOs can't get to throws like this. This is why the best players in the world had the best pocket presence, and they're able to complete these throws that when you mimic them, you can't complete them because your pocket presence isn't as good and you're not as close to the line of scrimmage. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal here. By shoring up the interior of your pocket and not allowing anyone to shed, it's going to make all your throws shorter, faster windups, and less knockouts. So that's going to do it for this updated video, guys. Again, if there's one thing that I would say out of this, take away the knowledge of what the abilities actually do. I see so many questions out there about, you know, is all day good? Is protected better than Linchpin? And, you know, there's just so much misinformation out there. So I want to share this with you guys. If there's one thing that I would do if I were you, if you guys don't like Identifier, Threat Detector, or can't play with him, my right guard would be a secure protector all day, just like my left guard. And that would give me the best offensive line possible. I hope you guys liked the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.